Warning, the following video may contain images and words some may find offensive. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, I'm Bocaj, and today I was thinking about, well, James Cameron is re-releasing Titanic in 3D, and I kind of started thinking about how a lot of people I talked about Avatar, people said, oh my god, it's cinema history, and I cannot tell you how much bullshit that is. So I'm going to actually be talking about one or two movies that, I believe are cinema history, and to help me with that is the very insightful, the very intelligent, and the very beautiful Goblin. Goblin, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I am fantastic. Thank you for joining me today.
Of course.
So, what we're going to be doing, folks, is that me and Goblin and myself, how rude of me. Oh. So anyway, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to go back and forth, each of us talking for just a little bit about movies that we personally enjoy, and we ourselves believe that these should belong in cinema history. So, would you like to start, Goblin, or me?
I can start, because the first movie that comes to mind is, and forgive me to any listeners who already think this, or if it actually is that fact, I'm not all that suave on cinema history, is The Dark Crystal by Jim Henson. I believe is a really good, should be cinema history favorite. It's a good movie.
I watched that show when I was a little kid,
It's not a show, darling.
You're correct. Wow, okay, so I watched that movie a lot when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed that movie too, but why is it that you believe that movie should be regarded as cinema history?
Well, one of the reasons why I believe it should be regarded as cinema history is because the only time any actual human actor was ever portrayed in that movie is when they had to have the main character, whose name I cannot for the life of me remember right now, running across where there could be no puppeteers. Everything else was done with puppets. The entire thing was puppets. And to this day, it still looks very lifelike, very realistic. For what they had at the time, it was a very beautiful, well-made movie.
Well, Jim Henson movies, you can never go wrong. You can always expect the most amazing special effects you will get from a movie. Mm-hmm. James Cameron, eat your fucking heart out. But anyway, a movie I believe is as cinema history is Rear Window, the Alfred Hitchcock movie.
I have never seen that.
That movie was incredibly well done. You get the sense of in all these different characters with no dialogue, no noise, no nothing, and the entire movie was only shot from one room.
Oh, now I remember you telling me about this. Yeah, that's actually on my list of things that I want to see.
Yeah, I deeply recommend to anyone who has not seen Rear Window, do not see Disturbia. It is a bullshit knockoff remake. See the original, you will never see anything like it. It is incredible. Alfred Hitchcock, possibly the greatest director that has ever lived.
See, this is where you start throwing people's names at me, and I really don't know what you mean, because again, I'm not all that suave on these things. But I'll take your word for it. I've heard the name tossed around here and there.
All right. Well, tell me another movie that you believe should be regarded as cinema history.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch all that many movies anymore. I guess I wouldn't say this isn't a movie, and I don't exactly know if it counts. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, I believe, is a very, very it's one of the longest-running successful animated series, and personally the movie makes me sick to my stomach, but I believe the series is one of those good ones. It's kind of up there on my list of things with Blood Plus.
Definitely, it's I'm not sure if it should be regarded as cinema history, but definitely as a widely broadcasted history.
Yeah.
Definitely, out of all of the animated shows I've seen for children, mind you, it has some of the most complex and most deep character development that I've ever seen in a series.
Yeah, it's something that can be enjoyed by both kids and adults. The adults like the series, but let me think. I'm not exactly sure what another movie I believe would be worthy of cinema history. I mean, the only other movie I can think of that is just equally as creative and magical and really connective to both children and adults would be the recorded and movie-made version of the play Cats.
Really?
Yeah. I've been watching Cats since I was a little girl. It's been one of my favorite movies. It's, if you watch it too many times in a row, it gets old. But if you leave a couple months between each watching, it's always fresh and new, and it's a fun thing. And I mean, I take it to every babysitting gig I go to, and almost every time kids love it.
Here's an interesting fact for you. I'm not sure if you knew, but that entire film was shot in one take.
Yes, I did know this.
It is actually, believe it or not, listeners, if you did not know this, the entire movie, Cats, is a stage performance all shot in one take that was made specifically for DVD purchase. If you have the ability to see this, I deeply recommend if you like live performance.
Yeah, Cats is originally a play. It's based off of a book of, if I can remember correctly, it's based off of somebody's book of their interpretation of how they thought cats lived their lives and what happened at night with the cats and so forth and so on. So the play is, I saw it live. It was a fantastic performance. It's a very, very fun, enjoyable thing to watch, and especially if you can see it live, go see it live, and if not, rent the movie. It's a beautiful musical. Again, it's a musical, so if you're not into musicals, you should still give it a try.
Okay, fantastic. Looks like we're running out of time here, though, but before we go, let me ask you one question, Goblin. Why is it that you believe people say that Avatar by James Cameron is cinema history?
It's probably have to do with the graphics.
That's exactly what I tell people, is that the movie itself sucks. It's Pocahontas, Dance with Wolves, whatever generic, stupid thing. I don't know, honestly, I personally like The Last Samurai myself and Pocahontas. Pocahontas was fucking awesome.
Pocahontas is pretty badass.
But that's aside the point. That the movie in itself is not good. People enjoyed it because it's a shiny movie. It's like
it is a very, very shiny movie, and, you know, the plot is a bit shallow, and it's obviously a remake of an old movie, but then again, there's only, like, 40 actual plot lines that there are that you can use in Hollywood movies. The thing is that I really like that I took out of Avatar was the culture that was implied with the Na'vi people, and taking that to another level. Like, yeah, maybe the movie wasn't the best way to portray all of that, but it gave an interesting idea. It did have some spark or inkling of imagination and creativity, and while maybe not cinema history because it wasn't that all of original of a movie, the overall idea was very original.
Alright, well, I can see that. By the way, if you'd like a much more thorough review and critique on James Cameron's Avatar, go check out Mr. Plinkett's review on the Lead Writer Media. I'll put a link in the description below, and also check out Goblin's DeviantArt account, Goblin-inkoperated. I'll also include a link below. And hopefully you will go check it out and favorite her and check out some of her artwork and maybe send her some commissions, you know, she'd much appreciate
That'd be totally awesome.
Well, Goblin, thank you so much for doing this video.
Thank you so much for having me.
Alright, thanks for listening, you guys. We'll see you next time.